So, Mike, one of the sections that we included, and this is probably one of the areas that I feel like is very helpful, again, for someone that is a beginner, or even if you're someone that is dealing with an injury and starting to do the process of recovering, starting to transition back to training. Solo drills are great, and there's no external forces upon you. And then you have a partner that can give you various forms of resistance. So it gives you a little more, I would say, a little more realistic feel to training. So let's kind of get into some of these, and
Sure.
let's talk a little bit about how we categorize these, because I mean we've got certain drills for specific issues and body parts.
Well, so it's a key thing to add. A lot of times, what happens, someone has an injury, right? They're like, jiu-jitsu guys are a little bit overzealous about getting back to the mats. They're like, I've been off the mats for 3 days. I'm going to lose all my jiu-jitsu, which is not the case. But they're like, what can I do, right? Because I would say, what differentiates us from different providers, right, is like you go see your physician. They're like, oh, you hurt yourself. Like, stop doing everything. Versus there could be some things you can do. And this, obviously we're not with you, so we can't tell you what you can do, but we give you idea of whether that's appropriate for you. So, we broke it down into 3 categories. We have upper extremity, lower extremity, and spine. So if you have an injury, like maybe you have an arm injury, like what are some things you can do? Because not only does it allow you to do jiu-jitsu in some capacity, but 2, it gives you an idea of whether you should be adding a live component, right? Because
Sure.
people go to jiu-jitsu, they're like, oh, that's fine, I'll go live, and I'll go light, which then they don't know how to go light. The partner doesn't go light, they get put in these terrible positions. So it kind of gives you a better awareness, like, hey, my shoulder's feeling better, but when I do this solo drill, it's still hurting. So it gives you an idea of, 1, you're probably not ready for jiu-jitsu, or 2, specifically, you're not ready for that movement. Because when we do it in a controlled fashion, we're doing it in a way where if it's a solo drill, you're doing it at your own speed. You don't have somebody else who's going to hurt you, right? Because like I said, not everyone can flow or roll light, So we go from solo drills, right? You're like, I can do this, no issue. Well, now we work to these partner drills. So now you're working with a person. So now we're adding a little bit of an intensity, right? Because you have another person. And 1, it gives you, like I said, it allows you to do jiu-jitsu in some capacity, but 2, it gives you that idea of, are you ready to go to that next step?
Yeah. And that's how, when you have these categories of spine, arms, or upper extremities, legs, lower extremities, you have an idea now, like, all right, so maybe I'll focus on these things
Mm,
for my leg. Since I have a knee injury, I maybe just focus on these specific movements
yeah,
to really dial in those things, because those are things you need to work on. Or
yeah,
the other part of it could be, all right, well, I maybe have a little bit of an injury to this part. Maybe I'll work some other areas of my body, right? So
yeah,
there's 2 ways to use these solo drills, and these are drills that and partner drills, because these are drills that, first of all, I think we have all done. I think
sure.
they're kind of, some of these are staples in jiu-jitsu, and they're also, different things like grip breaks, or different things like even specific takedowns, or even submission holds and things like that. So they're going to give you a little bit of everything. It's going to be useful, a useful representation of kind of getting you back to jiu-jitsu and things you're going to be doing.
Absolutely. Yeah.